This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Bullet travel trailer. And the model number is 245 RKS. So this is a how-to video. It's not a floor plan video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So you have power stabilizers. The switch is going to be up on the other side. I'll show them to you when we get to them. Basically, one switch controls both rear jacks, and another switch will control both front. You have a power awning with LED strip, foldable stairs with adjustable legs on them, outside speakers. You have this outside kitchen here with refrigerator and a griddle. Now this griddle has to be connected to the Quick Connect LP system, which I'll show you. The Quick Connect fitting for the LP system. If I can get down there far enough to see them. Okay. It should be right. I don't know if you can see it. Well, I can feel it right here anyway. I don't know if you can see it there or not, but you have to trust me, it's right there. Okay, and that connects the griddle, and you get the gas right from the tanks. You have a TV mounting backer plate here, and signal out plus power. Another door. Okay, pass-through storage. You have a hitch with this. It's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. We'll show you how that works when you pick up. It's a really good hitch. You have your sewer kit there. This, let's see here. There we go. Let me look real quick here. Okay. Hey, Todd, can I borrow your flashlight? I don't have mine with me, and I should, but I don't. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So, if you notice, this crank here has a cylinder with a slot cut in it. Okay? Now if we come over to the other side and look at the stabilizer jacks from the off-door side, you can see that there's a shaft with a pin through it right there. That shaft with a pin through it accommodates that crank with the cylinder with a slot cut in it. So my point is, you can crank the stabilizer jacks manually in an emergency if you need to. So if for any reason they stop working, you can put that crank right on here, and you can crank the front two and then go to the back and do the same thing back there. Okay? All right. Let me see if I can get on my feet now. I'll be all set. Okay. Also, your power tongue jack has if it ever fails, you can pull this rubber plug off there and use a socket on it and crank that manually also. Okay, so you have two LP tanks, deep cycle marine battery. This is a kill switch for the battery. You can shut it off. Let me get a better picture here. Hold on. Oh, there. Okay, there we go. You can turn it clockwise to turn it on, counterclockwise to shut it off. It's on right now. Always remember there's an inline fuse here. Okay. This is a quick connect for a solar battery charger. It's just a pre-wired. So if you're interested in getting I believe this one's made by Go Power, you could purchase one, and it's just a fold-up kit with a battery charger, solar panel. Okay. This is your sprayer, coil sprayer. That plugs in right here, of course. Let me see, I should have a light here. Okay. And, okay. Okay, so this is your controller for your solar panel to turn it on and off. This is another pre-wire. It's prepped for a battery monitor, but you have to purchase the battery monitor, but it's prepped for that. This is your solar controller here. Now, your solar controller controls basically the solar panel and the charging of the battery by the solar panel. So a lot of them will have a monitor panel inside the trailer. This particular one doesn't. You use your phone as a monitor, so you have to download the Victron app, Victron Energy. You can get it at Google or Apple. And what you'll do is with your phone, I don't know if you can see over here very well with the way this is set up here, but if you can't trust me when I say or you can see it right there, there's a tag with a PIN number on it, with a password, a 6-digit number. So when you're logging onto this, it's going to, through the app, it's going to ask you for the 6-digit number. It'll tell you can use zeros, but that rarely works. Take the picture and write down the number so you always have it, and then log on using the correct number. And then you can see everything that the solar controller sees. You'll be able to see how many amps or how many volts DC are in your system. In the DC system, it'll tell you your amp gain, or how many amps you're gaining from the sun and storing in your battery. It gives you the history, all kinds of stuff. So you'll be using your phone as the monitor. Now, when you first log on, you're going to look at the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and there'll be a dot, probably. And if you see that dot, it's telling you there's an update. It's either for the firmware or the software, or both. Sometimes they have them both. So you always want to keep your software and firmware up to date. So if it gives you the option, update it and keep it current. Okay. But it's a really good solar panel and a really good solar controller. So okay. Alrighty. When it comes to your water here, first of all, these are the switches for your power stabilizers. This is your cable and satellite into the trailer here. There's where your quick connect sprayer hooks up. This is your city water hookup right here. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer right there. So you're going to just hook your hose up to that, turn it on, and all your plumbing is set. If you're camping someplace that does not have city water, if you're boondocking or just someplace without city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. So you would fill that, and then when you get to the campground, you turn on your onboard water pump, which I'll show you the switch when we get inside. It runs on 12 volt DC. Turn it on, and you can pump water right from the tank. All the plumbing in the trailer would work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from your tank. Okay. We're winterized right now, as you see by that valve. That's how you bypass the water heater, and that's where the antifreeze is drawn in right through that line there. This is your black tank flush here. After you dump your black tank valves, which are at the rear, I believe, or no, they're right in the center there. After you dump your black tank valve, you leave the valve open like it states on this sticker here. Then you'll screw the hose at the dump station right onto there, turn the water on, flush out the black tank really well, clean off the sensor so you get a good reading, and you'll be all set. But you never turn on that water to here without having your black tank valve open. So you're basically going to put your dump hose on, you'll dump your black and then your gray, and then you'll leave your black tank valve open. Then you'll put the hose at the dump station onto here, turn it on, flush it out, clean it out, and close your valves and you're all set, okay? Very simple system. Now this is your on-demand water heater. The thing to know here is you have your master switch right here. It's off right now because it's winterized. It's filled with antifreeze, so I'll just talk you through it. It's all been tested though. But if you're not getting anything inside, this is shut off, so just keep in mind that it's there. When you put it away for winterization, or for the winter after winterizing it, you'll just keep it off. When you're in between camping trips, you can keep it off. Okay. I'll show you the panel for this when we get inside. Tell you a little bit more about it. Okay. Alrighty. So your valves are here. We just talked about that. Okay. You have an AccuSlide. That's the type of slide room this is. AccuSlide. Vent for your furnace. You have a 50 amp system. So it's a 50 amp power cord. We give you the reducer to reduce it down to a 30. And then again down to a 20. This is the vent here for your kitchen area. It's prepped for a camera, as you can see. It's got a pre-wire for a camera. You got a ladder, which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states that you should inspect your roof every 90 days or so. So someone needs to go up there and look at all the roofing attachments and the roofing material. Make sure it hasn't been damaged by road debris flying up there or low branches or anything like that. Make sure there's no damage or cracking or separation to any of the sealant where water could get through. The thing is, you don't know what's going on up there unless you look, and otherwise you're just assuming everything is in good shape when you don't know that for a fact. So people generally don't inspect the roof enough, and it's something you should do, like I said, every 90 days or so, just to make sure that you don't have any issues up there. The thing is, if you find an issue, you can take care of it immediately. It's not a big deal. But if you let it go for years, then it's a whole different story. So make sure you inspect it. Okay. Okay, so your keys are right here. Okay, there's one right here. Convection microwave. I showed you the vent on the other side. The vent has a baffle in it, and you'll see two little latches that you push up with your thumb or your index finger. So when you're running the fan, it'll vent to the outside. So always make sure you open that baffle on that outside vent when you're going to be cooking and venting to the outside. Otherwise, it won't make it outside because there's nowhere for it to go if the baffle's not open. You also have light here. This is a sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. Okay, you have 3 knobs, 3 burners. Then you have the oven. Down here there's a pilot light. Here, let me see if you can see it down there. There's a pilot light all the way at the back. You can see it sparking back there. So what you'll do, you'll go to the picture of the flame, then you depress it. You keep this depressed during the whole lighting procedure, right? So you keep it depressed. You start sparking it until you see it light down here. Eventually it'll light. So once you see the flame, you still hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Otherwise the flame will go out. But once you heat up the thermocouple, you can let go of it and go to whatever operating temperature you want. It'll cycle as an oven does at that temperature. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course. But so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. You have an ambient light here and an oven light there. Always travel with this in the down position so it doesn't break. Okay. I said convection. Alrighty. So your refrigerator is a 12 volt DC refrigerator. Runs on 12 volt DC, which is a good thing. Let me look around here. Okay. So this is the panel here. You have a dimmer here, and just regular on and off there. So your ceiling, your porch light, ouch, are both on, as you can see there. The slide room switch is right here, in and out. Just make sure there's nothing obstructing on the inside or the outside. If you ever hear any noise, stop immediately. Anything that doesn't sound familiar. With your awning, never leave it out unattended. Otherwise, it'll get damaged by the weather. You know, it doesn't take much for the wind to just flip it right over on top of the roof. So, if you're not going to be at the campsite, then roll it in. Your water pump, we talked about that. It's right here. That's used for pumping water out of the fresh water tank when you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. Okay. And then your levels, your battery, fresh water, so on and so forth. Black tank, gray tank. Okay. Your table here just folds down, basically. You're going to push this to the right. This goes to the right, then you collapse it at the hinges, and it'll drop down as low as the cushions, and then you can use the back cushions to fill in the space, and you got an extra bed there. This one here, let's see what we have. This is a hide-a-bed, so these back cushions come out. You can you pull it out from down here, fold it out, drop the legs, and you've got a hide-a-bed. Shades. Okay. Now your TV is more than just a TV. It's also FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or your tablet. It's got HDMI's on the front and the back, so you could hook up like a portable Blu-ray player or anything you want to it, basically. So you have that. This is your power converter here. This converts AC to DC power. So when you plug into shore power, you have 120 AC at these circuit breakers here. These are probably just like the ones you have at home, and they're all labeled, right? So you have 120 AC. Then it's converted to 12 volt DC on this side. You see you got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volts comes from. Now when you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front on the tongue has and needs, and it'll keep it charged. If it's already almost charged, it'll trickle a couple amps up there. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or as many as it needs to keep it charged. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge it. So this is an AC power center, an AC to DC converter, and a battery tender. Okay. This device over here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it's not glowing green, get it serviced. There's a button on there you can push, and if it doesn't go through the cycle, then it's malfunctioning, so you want to get it taken care of immediately. Never ignore it or put it out of your mind. Always get it taken care of because it's obviously very important. It's hardwired to the battery, so it's always on. Okay? All right. Your thermostat is you just hold this for a few seconds till it lights up. Oh, didn't hold it long enough. Do it again. There we go. And then you're just going to keep hitting the mode. You'll go to, that's just fan, cool is air conditioning, heat, and then you can select your fan speed. If they give you an option for auto, always choose that one. And to shut it off, let me do this again. You're just going to hold it until it shuts off. That's to raise and lower the temperature right there. All right. This is a GFCI plug. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. Even if it's a regular duplex, keep it in mind. Okay. Even the plug on the outside is wired through one of these two GFCIs. Even if they're regular looking duplexes like this one here, still wired through it. So if you lose power at any of your receptacles, always think GFCI first. Come in here and see if they're tripped. Okay. Fan, and let me close this so we don't forget here. The toilet works like all RV toilets in that it sits right over a black tank. You have your flush pedal right here. So when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water, of course. You'll come inside, you'll put a dose of chemical in the bowl. You'll stand on the pedal, hold it down till you put at least a gallon of water into the tank below along with the chemical. You can use more than a gallon of water, just don't use less. At least a gallon of water and chemical, okay? This is your on-demand water heater, so you're going to turn it on right here. This just changes it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, and the up and down sets your temperature. When it's turned on and there's water in the system, it's gonna and you turn it on, it's going to say 120 or 115, and that's what it's set up. You can raise it or lower it, whatever you want to set it at. And once you got to that point, whenever you turn a hot water valve on, whether it's outside or in the kitchen or the bathroom, you'll see the screen light up. It'll show like a wheel turning, and then it'll show a picture of a flame trying to light. And then once it lights, you'll see the temperature rise very quickly up to 115 or 120, whatever you got it set at. And you get hot water and a non-stop flow of it, and it's great for the shower, obviously, because the 6-gallon water heaters, even the 10s, were never big enough. So this is a really positive thing. I mean, you see more and more trailers with it. I'm sure soon, in a few years, they'll all have this system, or just about all of them. Now, if there is a safety device, if there's no water available, the burner will not light. So let's say you have to have one of these two conditions. You have to have the hose hooked up to the city water with the water turned on. It'll sense water and it will light. If you don't have that, you have to have water in the fresh water tank and the water pump on, or it will not light. So it has to be one of those two conditions for it to light. If it doesn't sense water, it will not light the burner. Okay. Alrighty. So the reason this is a 50 amp system is because they give you a pre-wire for a second air conditioner up here. It's a very easy install if you ever want to add another air conditioner. We do it here, but it'll fit right in here. The controls will be right on the unit, and on the super hot days down south, you'll definitely get cold enough in here. TV backer for watching TV in bed, and your hookups here. Okay, a little storage underneath here. Emergency window, which you're going to go like this, push it all the way through, grab a hold of this tab, pull the screen out, and you can escape an emergency. Okay. Alrighty. I think that covers it. Let me look a little bit here. I think we've got it though. Okay. Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days. You can't see what's happening up there unless you look, so it's very important to keep ahead of things. And right now this is winterized, so it's all set for the winter time. Okay? Thank you very much.